a colony is not what people have in mind. And honestly, even so much of our legal establishment, Scottish legal and political establishment, simply don't know what a colony is. They have this picture, they have this idea, this sort of cartoon version of what a colony is in their heads. And a colony is very simply a people under a foreign sovereignty, a people that are being oppressed, that have been denied the right to self-determination and are being administered under the rule of a foreign power. Now, one of the reasons that our establishment, as you've rightly said, denies that Scotland is a colony is because they have swallowed the line that Scotland entered into a voluntary partnership with England and created a state known as the United Kingdom. We started where I took a good look at the terms and conditions of this partnership, this union, and it was clear that there were preconditions. There were conditions under which the treaty was to be signed, conditions under which the union itself could come about. And one of those was the continuation in Scotland of the Claims Right Act of 1689, which upholds the civil rights of the people of Scotland. It also upholds the constitutional difference in Scotland, which makes people legally the authority over the government. Now, those things were really, really important. They meant that in Scotland, if the union was real, the people remained sovereign, their rights remained in place constitutionally. So that was protected. That is what was protected as a condition of the union. So where we began was, if there's a union, if there's a partnership, a voluntary partnership, then the conditions that allowed it to take place must be there. If those conditions have been thrown out, which they have, then we're not in a partnership, and the only other thing we could be is a colony, is dependency. So we plan to go and force that question to be looked at and answered at an international level. And to do that, we had to establish a liberation movement, because you have to have standing. You have to be the kind of NGO or a state that can approach one of these major UN organs, committees, to get a hearing, to get your question answered. So that's where all the work has been, establishing a real liberation movement, 16,000 strong, plus on the ground campaigns. Salvo is, campaign and fundraising arm, campaigning for recognition of the constitutional rights of Scotland, protesting and campaigning against the transfer of the people's sovereignty over their land in these unlawful free ports and special economic zones where the sovereignty is being transferred to corporations. So we had to do all of that. And it's kind of hard work to organise a democratic campaign of that size